Okay, welcome to our triangle top string tutorial. This is going to be an add-on of the regular top string that we do in our normal videos. And you guys should have already done this. If you don't know how to do this, I would recommend going to watch one of my other videos to figure out how to do this. And it's pretty much universal for all sticks that are normal sticks, you know, not goalie. So let's start with this. So we're going to start with a loop start. Gonna make that knot right there. There we go. Okay, and then for this head, at least, it may vary to where you put this over here, but we are going to go right above where we tied off for our normal top string. So we're going to go in the second hole on this specific head. Again, it varies per head, but it should be about the same. So then what we're going to do is we're going to go to our first knot up here. We're going to go through the front of the head. So if it's like the face of the head, you know, it's facing back for us, but it should be in the front. So we're going to go through there. If I can get this thing to squeeze on through. There we go. So then we can go ahead and pull that tight. Now, this is going to start getting a little tricky, but I think you guys can do it. We're going to go through, not any mesh holes, but we're going to go in between the plastic and the mesh and under that string that we're going with right now. So let's go through there. We can pull that tight again. Okay. Now, let's turn this over and look over here. So for this, I'm sorry about the tag, you're kind of just going to have to ignore that. So for this, you're going to want something where you can pull the mesh down for you to be able to see, whether that be tweezers, pliers. I'm using a tiny little screwdriver that I found. So if we pull that mesh down, we are going to want to go between the plastic and the mesh once again. So squeeze that on through there. And let's get those things out of the way. Come here. There we go. Perfect. If you did it right, it should look like this right now. There should be a tiny little loop around there right now. So we're going to go back to the back of it. We're going to go through the back of the plastic this time. So still that first hole. Squeeze that on through there. Come on. If it needs help going through, you can just push it through with your tool that you're using. Okay, this is where it's going to get kind of complicated. It's kind of hard to show, but we're going to go to the front once again, and we will go, to make this simpler, we're going to go through the mesh, or not through the mesh, between the plastic and the mesh. Once again, I just dropped that. That was probably really loud. So do that. Just to make this simpler for now. Okay, then we're going to look back here. This is kind of hard to see, but you can see right there, there's that little bridge between the first 9-diamond row and the second 9-diamond row. So, if we pull out this screwdriver, we can see that we can make a little hole right there. Let's see if you guys can see that right there. You can make it right next to that bridge. That's what East Coast Dies Greg calls it, a little bridge. Oh, I just shook the camera. So you're going to want to go through that tiny little hole and down through there. So that's what I just did. went through that tiny little hole. Now, we are going to want to go up another tiny little hole that is on the other side of that bridge. So my bad. I just made that little tiny hole. I keep hitting the camera, guys, I'm sorry. So, you can see there's a little hole right there that is next to that bridge. I hope you guys can follow this. If you can't, go check out Greg from East Coast Dies. He explains it a little bit better. So then pull that up and through. I just got it. And now you're going to want to go, not going through any mesh or anything. Once you've gotten through both of those little holes, you're going to want to go through the gap between the plastic and the mesh once again. Not going through anything, just going through there. Okay, so that means that you've hooked through that little thing. It looks a little weird because I caught a little other thing in it, but that should be okay. So now we are going to repeat this process once again. This is going to be the second time that I repeat it, and probably the last time, because it's very long process. So we're going to go through the front of the head, right there. You can start seeing why it's called triangles, because you can see the triangles are starting to form. Now, turn the head over again. Sorry about the tag. I like to keep that there. You can make a little hole right there to go between the plastic and the mesh. There we go. Now, turned it over. We're going to ignore that tag because you guys probably won't have a tag there. And we're going to go between the plastic and the mesh again. There you go. Now turn it over again through the back of the head. I'm going to have to push this one through. Come on. There we go. That tag was getting in the way. Make sure you're pulling all of this tight. Okay, now it's the tricky part again. You're going to go through between the plastic and the mesh. So go through there. Then we are going to find our bridge again. This time it might be a little bit easier. I'm hitting the camera again, my bad. Stop that from shaking. So yeah, there's my little hole. My screwdriver is in it. We are going to push that on through that little hole. Push it down. And we are going to find the other hole. And push it up that hole. Come here. It's kind of tricky to grab him, but you can do it. Let's hope I can do it. Let's try again. Let's make the hole again. Having trouble with this one. There we go. Perfect. Took me a minute, but I got it. Don't worry, guys. So now we're going back through the hole between the plastic and the mesh. Back through there. Perfecto. So now, just repeat the process that I did with these ones. And go ahead and tie off on this second one at the end. And then you will have got it. Perfect. Go on back to the video that you were doing.